So, you hit your 30s or 40s and you are wondering if it's too late for you to change your career. Let me tell you something. It's never too late for anything. Hello, my name is Elina and I changed my career from a school teacher to a software developer when I was in my 30s. And in this video I would like to give you some thoughts that are based on my personal experience that you might take into consideration if you decide to change your career. I live in Denmark, in a country that is supposed to be very open-minded towards any kind of diversity. But it doesn't mean that I didn't face any challenges when I was changing my career from a school teacher to a software developer. The first thing that you should think about is when you decide to go back to college, you will have classmates, basically kids that are like 16, 20 years old. In most colleges, if you study IT, like any kind of related to programming, education, you will have to work in a group together with your other classmates. It's like a little team of developers. So ask yourself a question: how important it is for you to be surrounded by people of your own age? Can you find common language with younger generation? If the answer is yes, it doesn't really matter to me, then you are good to go. Another aspect about studying programming or any kind of related to programming or IT education is that most of the people who study this kind of education, they already have some basic knowledge or some decent coding skills because they show the interest in this profession when they are basically kids, so they study it at home. For example, when I was going to my college, I had a almost like 50 years old classmate. It was a woman who previously was a nurse. She decided to change her profession into something less stressful. And here is the question: do you really think that being a nurse is less stressful than being a programmer? I guess it depends where you work. Anyways, back then I was almost 30 and I have already a degree in mathematics that a lot of people think are very similar to computer science degree. And I had a very hard time following up the studying program and making my homework for the first half a year because I couldn't catch up with my classmates because they have been already doing a lot of programming in their spare time. And I could see that this woman, who was previously a nurse, she had a very, very hard time finishing her assignments, and we had to help her with other people to finish them. But eventually she finished her education and I saw that she found a job. So everything is possible. It just depends to what level you want to take it. Maybe you can struggle for some time until you get used to being a student again. Possibly the problem was that this woman, she finished her education almost 30 years ago and she lost the ability of having this hectic life as a student, waking up early, going to school, attending lessons, and then going back home, reading for a few hours, doing some assignment, and then repeating it for like 2, 3, 4 years. And a lot of people can find it very stressful if they are just used to going to like work back home and relax at home. Also, if you have kids at home that you have to take care of, might be very, very hard and stressful to squeeze into your schedule also learning how to program, how to code, because for the most part, it takes more time than you expect. Last thing that I wanted to mention is finding a job after you are done with your education, after your graduation. To be honest, it actually makes a difference when you are 40 years old junior developer and you are 25 years old junior developer. But there are a lot of companies, mostly like big corporations, that very much focus on diversity. They are trying to mix their teams, have more women developers, have different nationalities, different religion. So in this case, your age could be an advantage because for those companies, it means that even if you are 40 years old, you could be able to completely change your life, basically. You could focus on very different profession that you had before to complete the college, which means you are very devoted to what you are doing. However, on the other hand, There are of course still a lot of companies that not very fond of hiring a junior developer 30 or 40 years old. So I agree that it reduces your chances to be hired in those companies, but there are still a lot of other companies that are desperately looking for IT professionals regardless your age, skin color, religion, and so on. And here is the solution for all the challenges that I mentioned before. If you plan to be a freelancer, then probably no one would ever care about your age, because the only thing that they care is that you got a decent portfolio and you got the skills. I hope that this video didn't discourage you from changing your current profession to IT, to programming, because it was made just to make you aware of possible challenges that you might face. And notice that they might happen, and it doesn't mean they will happen 100%. And of course, it's better to be prepared than being surprised. Thank you very much for watching me, and I will see you in the next one.